students. I hope you're enjoying The Giver so far. And I'm sure you're probably a little bit weirded out by parts of it, and some of it's a little bit strange, and that's probably going to get stranger today in chapters 3 through 4 as you read those. So today you are going to do a mixture of some activities. It's mostly questions, but I do want to point out a couple things quickly. This is not going to be a long video. So as always, and I know we talked about this yesterday, you want to use complete sentences. So I gave you an example here. I gave you some examples yesterday of how to do that. You want to take part of the question and start your answer that way. So for example, what do Jonas and the new child Gabriel have in common? They both fill in the blank. What do they have? You want to delete this ellipsis and tell me what is going on there. Also, please do your own work. Do not cheat. If you have a question, ask me. I want to see your work, your best effort. So just keep trying your best on your own. The chapters are short. You'll find it's an easy read. It won't take you very long to do this today. Okay, there's some more questions. This one right here, number 6, you want to read this passage really carefully that I've put up here a couple times. Look at details, okay, analyze that. It's not going to give you the answer clearly. There are hints, okay, so you'll need to read that a couple times to try to figure it out. And remember, Jonas' society is very different from ours. They don't have the same things, they don't do the same things that we do, so, you know, use your imagination there too about what might be different and what might be happening here. Okay, this blue divider tells you you've reached chapter 4, and I'm combining these chapters today because they're both really short, and they're fairly easy chapters. Some questions here. Then I want to talk about number 13. No, not 13, 12, sorry. There's a character named Larissa who's going to describe the events in a release ceremony, and we've heard about release in chapter 1 and 2 before. And in the release ceremony, there are multiple things that happen that I have listed right here. Okay? And I scrambled them. So I typed them up and then I mixed them all up. Your job is to unscramble them by putting a number in front of them. And I got you started with the first one. So this is the first event right here. And then you want to put numbers in front of these other events and what order they go in. And it's not obviously going to go in order because I've scrambled them up. So you want to find where is the second event, where is the third event. And if you look at page 32 and just follow that, this should be a really easy activity. Okay. And then at the bottom, you did something like this for the chapter 1 activity for me. It's actually the same thing. I just changed how many I want you to do. And I actually got you started. So there are a couple differences that I pointed out here. And then you want to fill in this part over here. Why might they do this? And then you want to come up with 2 more differences and why they might do that. So the 6 points comes from you answering the rest of these and then coming up with 2 of your own. Okay? And please make sure you put page number over here. And they can be from either chapter 3 or chapter 4. So in chapter 3, you're going to learn that they have very few mirrors in their community. Most of you have probably multiple mirrors in your household. That's not the case. They don't typically have mirrors in their home. So I want you to think about why might they do that? Why would they not have mirrors? What are the pros of that? And second, this one, you kind of saw a little bit about this on page 8, but if you didn't pick up on this, just to reiterate this, in page 21 or on page 21 and in the chapters today, you're going to see that there's some talk of birth mothers as an assignment, in which, by the way, if you haven't picked up on the word assignment yet, that means job. So an assignment is a job. And families don't have their own biological children. You probably noticed this on page 8. Families have to apply for children and be approved before they can receive a child. And these children come from the birth mothers that they have in their society. And you're going to read more about that today. It's not going to be super clear, but there's going to be some hints as to what that means to have that as an assignment. Also, you might have noticed on page 8 that they can only have 1 male and 1 female child at most in the families. Some families have 0 children. Some families only have 1 child. Some families can have 2, but one has to be male, one has to be female, but they can't have more than that. There are no more than two children given to families. And again, I say given because they don't have their own. They have to apply and be approved. Okay, so there's a chance that they wouldn't be approved for a child if they didn't meet some sort of criteria. So obviously that is very different from our society. So I want you to think about why might they do that? There are a couple of reasons. So there's not just one right answer here. Same with this one. There are a couple of reasons why they might not have mirrors. And then you're going to find lots of other differences. You want to list at least 2. You're going to find more than that, but you want to list at least 2 and ponder or think about why would they do that. Okay, if you have questions, obviously, again, guys, you know this by now, I am available to help you, so feel free to reach out to me via Google Meet, email, a comment on this assignment on Google Classroom, okay, and I can answer those questions anyway like that. All right, enjoy chapters 3 and 4, and have a great day, everybody.